Hi, and welcome to the Game Factor, the show that's dedicated to leveling up your gaming knowledge. I'm your host, David Burns. Well, it's gaming's greatest week, and E3 is upon us once again. But before we start covering some of the pre-E3 hype, we got a few new trailers for you. So the first trailer we have for your eye-hole peeping pleasures is for a reboot to an old classic series. So here's the trailer for Tomb Raider. Now, fans' opinion of Laura's new look have been split ever since it was revealed a few months ago. Me personally, I enjoyed the new look, and I like the new direction that the series is taking. So we're definitely going to give Laura's new adventure a pre-order. Now for our last trailer, before we get to all this E3 fun, is for the new Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception.
We'll look for a way to the tower through here.
Man, that was close.
Like we're going up after all.
This one better have an elevator.
Right.
The first two Uncharted games were incredible experiences, and it looks like Naughty Dog is pulling out all the stops for this third one. So we're going to give Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, a pre-order status. Welcome to week 2 of our new segment, Play, Review, Share, where we hear what you have to say about some of the classic video games we've all played. For this week, we have The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. So let's hear what you thought of this classic N64 game.
The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. I first heard about this game because of a commercial that I saw before a movie. Here's part of that commercial now.
Basically, Majora's Mask is about how Link travels through time to relive the same 3 days over and over and over in an attempt to stop Skull Kid / Majora from bringing the moon down on Clocktown.
Masks are the name of the game this time.
What really sets this game apart from all the other Legend of Zelda games is the masks.
The overall tone of this game is also darker than the previous game.
The world of Majora's Mask is large, but when compared to Ocarina of Time, it feels a bit cluttered and shoved into a too small bag.
Graphically, I felt like the game was pleasing for the most part. It wasn't all that bad. I mean, it really was kind of a rewash of Ocarina of Time with a few upgrades.
Kind of amazing that you get 6 bottles in the game.
There are 3 main masks you can get which can change your form: Deku Scrub, Goron, and Zora.
I liked the mask, and I liked how you could change into and out of roles by which mask you were wearing.
And the Gorons are the coolest ones ever! Because you get to roll up into a ball and knock you down. It's so awesome.
The dungeon item is usually an upgrade to your bow and arrows, which I don't really like. I prefer it if it's something like a hookshot or something.
What really makes it interesting is the time travel.
Saving the game isn't like the good old days of Ocarina of Time. You can't save anywhere you want. You have 2 choices. You can either save and return to the first day, or you can find checkpoints marked with an owl statue.
One of the things I did not like, while I thought it was an interesting twist, it became a very old one, was having to go back and turning back time every 3 days. It just got it felt monotonous to me.
When you save and return to the first day, you lose all collectible items like bombs and arrows, and everything you've done in a temple so far is reset.
Every time you travel back in time, all the events are reset. This means that if you failed to save the girl from the UFOs at the ranch, you get another chance at it.
I think that song is like the coolest in the game. It's called the song of Double Time.
Now the music is just as fantastic as ever.
Music's great. Some of it's from the first one, Ocarina of Time, but there's a lot of new music. It's really an experience. The gameplay is pretty much like it was in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Very good. You have your Z targeting, you have your block puzzles, you have your hook shot, all that stuff.
One of the things I liked about the game is the gameplay was actually pretty cool.
The challenges in it are just... they're there, and they're so tasty when you finally beat them. I give it
4 fairies out of 5.
I definitely recommend that if you haven't had a chance to play it, play it.
So for next week's Play Review Share, we've chosen Castlevania Symphony of the Night, that was originally released on the PlayStation 1. Now if you don't own the PlayStation 1 version, you can get it on the Xbox Live Arcade or on the PlayStation Network. So go and play this game and leave us a video response down below of your review. So it's that time of year again when all of the game developers in the world meet in the small town of Los Angeles for a little thing they like to call E3. And we're here to let you know when and where to catch all the new gaming news. Don't worry if you can't watch any of the conferences, because we'll be giving periodic updates through the course of E3. Kicking it off this year is Microsoft with Monday afternoon press conference starting at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Now we're expecting to hear some news about Kinect games, and obviously a bunch of news on Gears of War 3. Later in the day, we have Sony, who is going to be debuting their stuff with their press conference at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Now from them, we're obviously expecting an actual name for the NGP. We're also expecting more information on Twisted Metal and Uncharted 3. Lastly, we have Nintendo, whose press conference isn't until Tuesday morning at noon Eastern Time or 9 a.m. Pacific. Now their big news is obviously going to be Project Cafe details with a name and actually debuting what the system will look like as well as the controller. Now there's also rumor of a secret Zelda game that isn't the Skyward Sword. So we'll see what Nintendo has to offer. Not to be outdone by the big three, some of the industry's biggest publishers are also holding press conferences to let gamers know what to expect over the coming year. First of those is EA, who is holding its press conference on Monday at 3:30 Eastern and 12:30 Pacific. Now we're expecting to hear news about Battlefield 3 and Mass Effect 3 from them. Also on Monday, Ubisoft is holding a press conference that starts at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. We're expecting to hear more news about the Assassin's Creed Revelations from them. Now that we've fed you all of these times, you'll probably want to know where you can watch all these conferences. Well, you can catch them on either GameSpot.com or IGN.com. Now don't worry if you can't catch all of them, because we'll be posting updates regularly throughout the week. Coming out this week, we have titles that fall into the category of the title of my favorite Western: the good, the bad, and the ugly. We have Infamous 2, Green Lantern, Operation Flashpoint Red River, Red Faction Armageddon, and Kevin Van Dam Fishing. I'll let you decide which one falls into which category. Well, that wraps up our pre-E3 show. But don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, as we'll be posting regularly our takes on the E3 conferences and other things on the show floor. So, until next time, game over. E3T tonight. Kevin Van Dam Fishing. That's gotta be ugly. So it's E3T phone home. E3T phone home.